Jordan, so good to see you. Today we are talking through 4 ways to improve your investment performance. This does not mean taking on more risk or chasing the latest trend. Often it's about getting the fundamentals right. So let's walk through those 4 simple ways that investors can improve results without making anything more complicated. First, you suggest automate and get out of the way. Automate those contributions, your investments, how often you rebalance. What else, and how does this help?
Yeah, we all have to create good habits. So if we have a
Yes.
system in place and we know every few weeks we're contributing to that 401k, if we're contributing to that HSA, if we're contributing to our other investment accounts and it's once a month or it's every 2 weeks, if that habit is in place, out of sight, out of mind, things happen. And even if the markets go up and down, you have that plan that stays true. And then you're going to dollar cost average. You're going to take advantage of the market dips and buy more shares. But you got to make sure that everything is kind of in an automated process to save you time, but also to make sure you're making wise decisions. And when you have that habit, you don't think about, oh, do I have to invest this month? How much should I invest this month? Well, you have a game plan. And by having that game plan, you give the secret isn't just time in the market, it's time in the market, but it's also time in these good habits that get you to your final destination.
Right. Well said. All right. Number 2, consolidate. If you have old retirement accounts floating around, managing your money becomes harder and getting a look at your whole financial picture becomes even more difficult. This is an important, easy, and often overlooked step.
And some people think, oh, I like to have 401ks here, here, and here, investments over there, and there. But the reality is that doesn't really benefit you or serve you. Why? Because you're overlapping in different funds and different investments. And you need to make sure that once you leave that job, you probably want to consolidate that 401k to an IRA, because those benefits you had for dollar cost averaging and 401k contributions, they're kind of gone. We've seen people that had their old 401k there for decades. 1, it's a lot harder to track. 2, they're overlapping in funds. 3, we've seen people that had money markets in that 401k that the 401k is charging over 2% a year in fees.
Right.
So you don't have to, but for most people, you should consolidate that 401k into an IRA, give you more control, make it easy on your family, make it easier for RMDs when you reach 73 or 75, but have a plan and consolidate.
Yeah, really good point. Number 3, define your time horizon before investing. This can help guide your decisions when it comes to buying, selling, or holding an asset.
100%. So if you're looking to buy a house in the next few months, you probably don't want to put all your assets in Bitcoin, right? That's going to be a lot of volatility and it's not going to be there when you need it. So you want to kind of have a time horizon and have a plan for the money that you're investing. So if you want longer term, you probably want more equities, long-term growth vehicles. If you want shorter term, you got to be more conservative, maybe using bonds, different investment types that are more liquid. So if there's a big market dip, you can still take that money. It's still going to be there for you. So align the money to the purpose, align the money to the time horizon. And when you do that, you don't have to be stressed or emotional because you have money for the short term, and then you have money for the intermediate term, and then you have money for the long term.
Right. All right. And last, I feel like this one is almost a little bit easier said than done sometimes. Save a little bit more money every year.
Yeah, there's easy ways to save. I know I'm still struggling with this. My wife and I, like, hey, what subscriptions are we paying for? What do we need to stop paying for? We don't use that subscription anymore. But find those little kind of leaks in your nest egg that is $20, $30 a month, or you're paying DoorDash when you should just pick it up from the restaurant if you're going to go out to eat. But those $20, $30 add up over time. And if you can save a little bit more money, you can invest more. Or I'll be frank, or you can enjoy life more, right? Do you need a DoorDash, or maybe you want to allocate that to an experience that you save up for? Because I believe life is meant to be lived and money is a tool. But when you find out those leaks and you can reallocate that either to investments or making a more impact in your life, that's money well saved and money well spent.
Right. Clearly, talking this through, Jordan, it becomes apparent. The point is have a plan, right? Automating, saving more. This can be all part of a financial plan, which again, I know is what you focus on with clients. So if somebody would like to sit down, learn more about all of these points, what's the best way to reach you and how can we find you? Because I understand you're beefing up your YouTube these days too.
Yeah, well, we're trying to be all over to help as many people as possible on the mission we're on. So we have YouTube Lives even coming up this week. We have different educational events in the local area. We have pre-recorded workshops for different topics. But ultimately, we believe that you need to have a plan. And again, this is fresh in my mind because my wife and I are planning a trip to Disney. And we have a 2.5-year-old son, and his name is Jaden. And we want to have him have the best experience. But if we just showed up the day of and just free for all it, we're not going to go on all the rides. We're not going to have a game plan. We're not going to see what we want to see. And we might be spending hours in lines that we could avoid. Well, likewise, financially, if we don't have a plan, if we don't know where we're going, if we don't know how to get there, you might be paying more in taxes. You might be paying, more in extra fees. You might not have those best returns. So we need a plan. The first stop is to kind of get with us as a coach and a planner to provide financial leadership. And you can call 847-499-3454, have a chance to talk to us, see how we can help you, learn about you, and then hopefully take the next step and help you sit down and have a plan for your family.
I cannot believe that Jaden is 2.5 now.
I know, but he's free till 3, right? They talk about saving money. That's where we're going to Disney before he's
flying free. Yeah, flying free. Yeah. Still a lap child. Good point. Jordan, thank you so much. And everybody who's watching, get your phones out because we do have a QR code coming up at the end. Jordan, thanks again.
Thanks, Aaron.